Hello everybody and welcome back. This is Not a Pro Gardener here. We are in zone 6B, now 7A. It is the first weekend in October, and we are finally getting some chill weather in the morning. We got like low 50s roughly, or high 50s. To these last couple days it's been 80 degrees, and after that it's supposed to kind of dwindle down a little bit. But then again, it could jump back up. Who knows? I mean, it's kind of up in the wind at this point, and I was hoping it'd stay cool. I'm having to shower my broccoli plants and stuff over there at the other in-ground garden. Today we're going to do a little chores, and then we're going to show you kind of a greenhouse update. We're going to be taking you in and around. We finally got that thing practically finished, and we're going to talk about things and my experiences with the products I used and stuff like that, just to kind of give you an insight on how that went with the aquarium pool heater. There was an aquarium heater for 50 to 75 gallons, I believe. I'll talk about that. And we're just going to show you our DIY greenhouse as well, and just you can kind of see what it looks like now. I think it looks pretty good, but you guys can all just come along for the ride. So let's go get this done. As you can see here, we finally prepped our garden plot here for our garlic, and I'll pip up a video of it while I'm talking here. So I finally got my garlic seed stock from Johnny's, and it's looking like I might need to put another row in. So I'm thinking about just doing another row of garlic here. I have plenty of extra beds here. I mean, I'm gonna have a lot of them, probably smaller cloves, but in order for me to do this dry farming thing, I'm gonna stick with just 3 rows of garlic, 6-inch spacing apart roughly, and then the same thing over here. And I should have a little bit left over to plant at my house for green garlic like I was wanting. Let's take a step back and you can see the grazing at work here. Okay, they went down here, up, down, up, and then they're going back down here. And I'm going to try to get them to go around the perimeter to get to this other plot over here. Kind of doing some intermediate weeding on the side here with these onions. The onions, you can see they're kind of taking off. They're all sticking up real nicely, mostly. There's a few of them that kind of didn't make it, but hey, that's the way it is. And I just got a little bit of weeding to do. Just about every day I come around and try to do some weeding. But as you can see, the garlic bed, they're just a little bit wider than this. So in the video, I'll pip up me making this garlic bed, kind of pop that up as a little B-roll clip for you there, and you can kind of enjoy that. gonna do the same thing on the other side of these onions. All right, so let's go ahead and get these rabbits moved over real quick. On to the chickens. Now the chickens, we put a new kind of watering system in today, and it's relatively cheap, kind of. All you need is a bucket, some tubing, and some of those little waters in there. I'll show you in a minute, but all I did was took some old hog panel and bent it to hook around there. And then I just got that sticking through there. That way I can keep the weight back here on these wheels, but I can also fill it up from the outside, which was something I really wanted. These eggs out. And I just finally found some different seed. I think I'm gonna try to go and do some fermented feed. Man, look how clean those eggs are. I love that. I absolutely love that. Love this nesting box. So, love the nesting box. It keeps the cleanest eggs I've ever had. Now, I'm gonna redo these wheels eventually. I'm gonna weld something up this winter while I got time. But for now, that's doing it. That's doing exactly what I need it to do. Just got to put some sunflower seeds in there to get them going on it. But they have been drinking out of them. Pretty good job. Just got it ran over there, which ain't too bad. Got to get that old water out of here. All right, so now that we got this done, we're gonna go take this stuff back to the garage and we're gonna go down and show you the greenhouse. All right, so we're back down here at the in-ground garden plot, getting ready to reveal the greenhouse. But first, our first fall pest damage, we're gonna have to get in here some spinosad here soon, get this stuff sprayed. Cauliflower, not looking too shabby. First time ever growing this stuff in the fall like this. So yeah, learning a lot of new things. I'm not sure what that little guy is. Having to turn the sprinkler on, as you can see. We're turning it on at about lunchtime roughly, and we are doing it like in 10-minute intervals because everything's still wilting pretty bad. Still got these carrots. We're getting ready to clear out this lettuce bed and some of these beds that were tomatoes. We're gonna peel this off and hopefully direct seed spinach, radishes, and some other things just to kind of try it out, see how it goes. But this is the greenhouse. It's a little bit different. This guy's growed by one cattle panel in size. Everything else is relatively the same. I used I went on Amazon for plastic because I just needed like a 16 by 16 sheet roughly, but I just ended up getting a 20 by 20. It was cheaper to do it that way, but this is the clearest greenhouse plastic. It's supposed to be four-year greenhouse plastic, but it is the clearest greenhouse plastic I have ever seen. We was able to reuse the door, saved me some lumber, which was awesome. Honestly, I think I put it in upside down, but hey, it still works just fine. Everything, there's nothing straight, nothing crooked, because I don't know if you know this, but we garden on a slope out here. The whole front yard tapers off quite a bit. And that's why you see what you see when you look inside our greenhouse. So my shelves that I made are level, and I'm going to take you in and show you those. But none of this stuff is going to be eye-pleasing. It's going to be a little crooked, you know. That's just how it's going to be. You know, it's a greenhouse. This is going to get done what I need to get done. So first off, these are our tables. This is what I made them out of. Just some 1/2 inch. The rails are 1/2 inch EMT conduit. These are 3/4, I believe, and I use stainless steel fasteners and zip ties. Now on the back, I just used some regular old pipe clamps. I got whatever size I needed and I just clamped them to the back of there, leveled it out. This table, I believe, is like 34, I think it's 34 inches wide, and they are both by 10 foot long. But they are both by 10 foot long, and all this stuff was repurposed except for the EMT conduit and the cattle panels for the greenhouse. I reused this one. I reused this one that I had that was kind of bent up a little bit, and I reused this one, which was an off-fall off of the old greenhouse panels, which was kind of nice. Kind of saved some money there. Got a little shade cloth going on because it's been 80 degrees last couple days. Now this is what I wanted to show you. I found this little doohickey. You can get one like this with a humidity setting on it, but I mainly just need the fan to turn on when it starts getting hot in here. So basically, the fan here is just going to plug into this. You can set your temperature to what you want. It's plus or minus 5% of a degree or something like that. I forget what it said in the manual. You know, it's a down and dirty greenhouse. All it has to do is get me through a couple more years, hopefully 4 years. Hopefully no trees fall on this one. RIP, little greenhouse, but birth to a brand new growing machine right here. So I'm still going to put the aquarium heater in this 55-gallon drum during the winter so I can start my tomato plants early like I normally do. I think in February roughly. They're in February. I usually have tomato plants in the greenhouse, and it usually does pretty good. But the problem I've always had was airing this thing out during the summer, and I think I just solved that problem. So usually I would just open this side up and then open the other side up and just hope for the best. But since I'm already going to have electric out here for my aquarium heater for that 55-gallon drum, as you can see, this one right here, which I found out that thing busted and only lasted a year. It was supposed to be pretty good stuff. I don't know how it busted because during the winter I took it out. So I don't know if it was just some kind of a mess up in the product or whatever, but I ended up getting another one because I'm going to need it here in about 2 months roughly. But this is my solution. So pretty much I just framed it in there, down and dirty, got this stuff all framed in with some used stuff as a little circuit breaker amp right there. In case you have some problems, you can just push that button, kind of like on a table saw. But I have so much more space in here. I could add another half a pallet shelf down here on the bottom. I could add stuff in the back, add hanging pots in the back, which is what I was thinking about doing, maybe some specialty crops back there. So it's looking really nicely. I'm gonna take you back here and show you the back. So I don't need this fan right now, but I wanted to get it done while it was still bare bones. So I didn't cut this plastic yet. What I'm just gonna do, let me zoom you out here. What I'm just gonna do here is I'm just gonna take my knife, and every inch I'm gonna probably make a slit, maybe every 2 inches, make a slit in there so that fan can like open them up like aluminum shutters almost. And hopefully that's gonna work. If it doesn't work, then I can just always staple a small piece of plastic back on there and start over. It's not that big of a deal. You know, the greenhouse is gonna be a little drafty. You know, it's not perfect around the bottom corners and the edges. You know, there's some drafts that can still kind of get in. But you always want some kind of ventilation, and I think I may have solved my problem with my ventilation. I mean, it looks like it's going to work. I'm extremely happy with how it looks. I think if I just make some bigger slits, I can always make more slits in there if I need more. And then I'm just going to take some greenhouse tape and tape over the fins of the slits that I make, so it kind of like strengthens them up, you know, and hopefully that helps. I'm thinking that's going to work. Just kind of let me know in the comments what you think. I think it's going to be a win-win for me, but let me know what you think about my shelving. I heard from other market farmers that mice cannot climb pipes. You know, they have trouble with that evidently. So I had some trouble this last year of some mice eating seeds and seedlings and summer squash and, you know, just wreaking havoc. So I knew if I made shelving, I wanted to solve that problem. So over here, yeah, they can definitely probably climb up that plastic on that barrel, you know. I mean, it's not perfect. But for tomato plants, I needed a lot more height here to grow them. That's usually an issue. So over here, I made this one pretty much where I wouldn't have to bend over and I could still put like a shelf. I got a lot of small wire rack shelving. I could make some smaller shelves, put more stuff down here. But then also, then again, I also have a shorter growing space up here, so I could put lettuces or something like that in there, you know. I tried to make it as versatile as possible. So I usually do a ton of tomatoes, and next year I got a lot more stuff probably going to be going through here, which is why I wanted more space, and I think this greenhouse does it. As you can see, I just kind of added on in the back. I just kind of scabbed it on there. You know, I leveled the top edge out. I just ripped that bottom board to make this top rail level all the way across. And then I repurposed this board here as well. Now, I framed this like I do my doors. That way, if I ever wanted to pop this out, it's just 2 screws there and 2 screws there. I could make a door and put it in there if that fan's just not working. But I think it's going to work. I wanted a bigger fan. I didn't want one of them smaller fans that was on Amazon. I had a feeling, because it gets so hot in this greenhouse, like it gets like, it would get up to 80 to 100 degrees very fast at about 11 a.m. every day, and I'd always have to come out here. But now I'm hoping that that's going to solve that problem. I mean, I'm probably going to keep this door open, but it's going to cool it off so much faster and keep it cool. It'll just kick itself on with that thermostat over there in the corner. So I'm going to keep you up to date on these things that I'm using. You know, eventually, ain't going to know till next year. Ain't going to know till probably after a year how that thing's really going to do. But I mean, I've seen it, people use it in videos in their crawl space and stuff. And I'm pretty sure they advertised it for agricultural use, you know, chicken houses and stuff like that. So I put it up high enough to where I wouldn't spray it with water. Hopefully, you know, I'm trying to keep it all, you know, on the up and up. I think it's going to work out just fine because, well, let's just cross our fingers. We all cross our fingers and hope that's going to work out just fine. So, little tip here. Right now is the time to go to your Lowe's or big box stores and see what they got for seed start and mix, because I usually mix my own, but they did have some organic, as you've probably seen in there on the floor. They had it on sale. I paid around $10 to $11 for it one year, and it was the best year I've had because it had that mycorrhiza in it. It was the best year I did for tomato transplants. I used that and I mixed a little bit of my compost with it, and the tomato transplants did so much better than those that I made with that combination. So I'm probably going to try to replicate that this year with some vermicompost. I don't know how well it's going to go, but just kind of passing that off to you. Now's the time to go looking around and see if you can find any deals on stuff, because it's getting to that time of the season, if you didn't already know. Most people probably do. But this is Not a Pro Gardener here. I hope you enjoyed this video and this garden update. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time out here in the garden. Have a great day.